What's up, everybody?
It's been a while since we've done this. It's been
Yeah,
a couple weeks.
yeah.
And we've both been feeling it too. I think the anxiety and not being able to breathe, like I noticed with you. Are you doing better today?
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's.
Talking's good.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So we were talking about, what should we talk about? And something Corey had mentioned it last week, and then I've been kind of thinking about it, is judgment. We can talk about judgment until Judgment Day. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because judgment is just, man, it's like one of those things I keep facing constantly in my life. I think to myself, oh, I'm really good, this week. But then something will happen, and I'll feel those feelings of fear of judgment come up again. And so it's one of those things. And I know that I've shared a video, I think by myself, a while, like months and months ago, about judgment, being judgmental towards myself. But there's so many different aspects of judgment, like judging ourselves for the things that we do, judging other people because of our opinions and, and just what we think about others, and choices that other people make, and then the judgments that we feel that people are making towards us. And I think with that, I think a lot of times we create stories in our head thinking that other people are judging us about things that we really are just judging ourselves about. And so I'm working on, like, constantly. I feel like this is like my life work is learning not to judge myself, because I think that that's where all the judgment stems from, is how we feel internally about ourselves. Even like as I judge another person, it's really a projection of what I think about how things should be in my life, and so if you're not doing things in your life the way I think they should be, then I'm gonna judge it. It's just crazy the way that judgment works.
Mm-hmm. My favorite is the judgment of what I create in my head, other people are judging me of. And we laughed about this the other day, like, when people aren't, like, right in front of me talking with me, and even a lot of times when I'm actually talking with somebody, they're not even there with me. They're thinking about other things, they're thinking about themselves. And for me to really think that people are judging me when they're not around me, it's just, people don't have time to sit around and do that.
Yeah, people aren't like thinking about us all the time.
No. Right. It's so egotistical,
Totally.
But judgment, when it comes to being judgmental, I am definitely way too hard on myself. And I have gotten a lot better at that and recognizing it whenever it pops up. And not being judgmental of my children is something that I work really hard at. Like, I don't want them to ever feel that they could do something that would drive me away from them. Like, somebody that I've always admired, he said that he used to always tell his kids, there's nothing you could do that would make me love you any less. There's nothing you could do. You could kill me and I would still love you just as much as I love you. And I always, that is powerful. And that's coming down to judgment. Like, there's nothing that people that I really love, there's nothing that they can really do that would make me look at them as less than, because through what I've been through, I understand we all have issues. We all have things that we deal with. And for me to judge somebody's little thing that I see them do. And that's just a way to ignore the log in my own eye. It's a way for me to avoid, to ignore myself, and to just gossip or just think about other people and what can they do better. Look at that person, they sure are screwing up their life, and here I am with my own life that there's so much I need to do, there's so much work I need to do on myself, that who am I to think that anybody isn't exactly where they need to be in their life? It's just it's avoidance. It's a way to avoid being where I'm at right now, being in the present moment, and working on myself, and just working on being a better person.
And something else that's coming to my mind is accepting ourselves exactly where God has us. Because we judge, when we're judging ourselves, we're really judging God. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because, He has made us perfectly how we are. Our choices have created, who we have become up to this point. And life has created us to this point. But when we get into this present moment and we allow God, we surrender our lives to God, and we want to be what He wants us to be, then what we are truly is perfect. I have been afraid a lot in my life of judgment, and I'm coming to a place in my life today where I'm really I want to let go of those fears, because I recognize that God has blessed me with a lot of gifts and talents that I've really been afraid to open up to. I've been thinking about this lately, how, and this is going to sound crazy, but whatever. I feel like if I were born in the late 1600s, early 1700s, I would have been burned at the stake. I would have had rocks tied to my feet and dropped into a body of water, or hung, because of the fact that I have gifts, and I'm drawn to nature, and I'm drawn to seasons and the moon and the stars in the sky and the planets, and I'm drawn to medicine, natural medicine, and I love herbs, and I love rocks and crystals and stones, and and it's and with all of that, I have many sensitivities to a lot of things, and Heavenly Father has blessed me with a lot of, like I said, a lot of different gifts that I don't talk about and I don't share because of fear. And I'm coming to understand and to recognize that Heavenly Father, when He gives us these gifts, He doesn't want us to keep them in a box with the bow on it, and to just be a pretty little box. He wants us to open those gifts so that we can share them with other people, so that we can help to bring love and light and healing into this world. And if I just keep my box closed out of fear of what people are going to think, that they're going to burn me at the stake or something, it's because those are just deep internal fears that from society and from people, and just afraid of judgment, just afraid, and it's me doing that, it holds me back from being able to be a full, a vessel for God to use.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And that doesn't mean you have to even tell people, look, I have this gift.
Right.
You just
They're
use your
used.
gift.
Right.
And you share it with others, not by sharing, I've got this
Right,
gift.
yeah,
and
absolutely.
You share it with them by actually doing
Using
what
it.
would have gotten you dropped into the water.
Right. Right.
Yeah. I would have just been locked up in one of those loony bins.
Right. Yeah,
a
maybe.
couple hundred years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Then you would have been the witch. That's
Right.
for sure.
I mean, my family calls me that. I mean, I'm not pagan. You know, I don't practice witchcraft, but like all those things
There's a lot of truth in a lot of things.
there is.
Yeah.
I mean, there just is, and we judge it because we're afraid of it, and we just
Yes.
don't understand, and we don't know.
Yes, we definitely do. There's everything we do. We judge so many things in nature, so many things that are just natural that people would tell us to steer away from. That's of the devil. Don't go there. And it's like, no, not because it's not taking me away from Christ. It's not taking me away from the things that I know are true and the things that I really feel deep within me, but it is giving me more.
Mm-hmm.
And by judging it and saying it's something that it's not, well, that doesn't mean that you're getting less or you're off the path or doing anything wrong. It just means that a lot of people are missing out on a lot of blessings in this life.
Mm-hmm.
Like fasting regularly. You know, I want to do that. I want to do it for 90 days. Like, that's my next goal, is to do it for, a month was pretty incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And people could judge that and say, oh, that's so unhealthy. And it's like, well,
until you try it.
Yeah, it's the healthiest I've ever felt.
Yeah.
You know?
The clarity and just so much about it. Yeah.
And I lost like 10 pounds. You say you didn't lose any weight, and it's because our body has what it needs. And science, I mean, to really believe something that we read in today's world, so many things. I mean, eggs are bad for you one day and they're good for you the next, So to really base my beliefs on something that I read on Facebook, I don't judge anything. Like, when it comes to Islam, Buddhism, Taoism, whatever, I mean, I embrace what's good from all of it, because there is a lot of good in the Muslim religion, in the Buddhist religion, no matter where you go, in Judaism, in whatever. I mean, Jesus was a Jew. I mean, there are so many good people in this world that I was listening. My radio actually got stuck on 99.5, which was Sean Hannity the other day. And he made a statement that those people that did whatever they did are going to burn in hell. And I mean, he made this statement, and I thought to myself, there's people that do things and really believe that they're doing things in their heart that are for a good reason. And for me to judge that and say that person's going to burn in hell because they did what they did, well, I might want to work on myself, I mean, I get it. There's a lot of horrible things that are done in the world, and it seems pretty easy to say, well, that person's going to burn in hell. He just blew himself up with a bunch of kids and innocent people with him. But how can I even judge that person? And I mean, that's going pretty extreme, but how can I even judge that person? Because I'm not that person. And I don't know where his heart was. Actually, I kind of feel like I do know where his heart is. You know?
Yeah, for him to give up his life.
Yeah, for what
a
he
cause
believes
that-
in.
Yeah.
And even though I feel like he is very misguided and
Mhm.
believes in something that is completely wrong, well, that doesn't mean that God sees him the way that I see his actions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I am so grateful that I'm not God.
Yeah.
But the only person that the only person's actions that I need to judge are my own. And even along that line, I want to be kind to myself and not be harsh on myself, because I mean, if I am, I'm just going to end up in a gutter somewhere, because it's just going to be me saying I'll never be good enough.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It creates so much just like depression, like just and anxiety, like never good enough, like whenever we're constantly judging ourselves. And like I said in the beginning, you know, as we're judging ourselves so harshly, it projects onto other people. We see them the same way that we're seeing ourselves. That's not, and yeah, it's just not healthy. It's just not. Yeah.
You know,
my mind stops.
the thing. No, you're good. The thing that I find is just so common is me looking at another person and thinking they're judging me in a certain way. For me to jump in their body and their mind and say they think this about me. And it's like, that is just so, for me to think I can read somebody's mind and think I know what they're thinking about me as I walk past them, when they're probably not even thinking about me, you know?
Yeah, I'm so bad at that.
Yeah.
I really feel people are judging me all the time. Why? Like,
ego. Ego? I mean, is it insecurity?
Because I'm so judgmental within my own self that I feel
That could be huge, yeah.
Because no one's thinking about me.
Yeah.
And if they are, that's their own thing.
Yeah,
like,
but the more we judge others, definitely, the more we're going to think others are judging us. That's for sure. And if I can't forgive myself and I can't let go of the things that have held me back in life, and I just want to constantly judge myself, then of course I'm going to think other people are judging me. If I can't let go of things and I can't forgive myself, well then how's anybody else ever going to do it? You know? How am I ever going to feel like anybody else has forgiven me? That they're not judging me still for things that I've done in the past. If I cannot let go of that, then of course I'm going to feel like they're constantly judging me. You know?
Yeah.
Being judgmental is just so hard in every way. It just eats the body up. Causes all kinds of digestive issues, and I mean, it's just so unhealthy.
I feel like for my life, like I feel like I've not been a judgmental person to other people. Like I feel like I've always been able to come from a place of understanding and compassion, and like I really tried to put myself in other people's shoes, but none of us can truly 100% do that. But I think my biggest thing is just my judgment to myself. And it, like I've said, it just comes out towards others. I don't like it.
Yeah. Something I did the other day was I was texting my daughter, and I was telling her how amazing I think she is and how talented she is, and I was saying all these things, and then all of a sudden I was thinking, I mean, those are positive judgments, but that's putting somebody on a pedestal, and it's, oh no, well, what if I mess up? You know, that I could see how my kid could think that, like, well, what if I screw up? What if I'm not that? How's dad going to see me? And I made it really clear, like, look, I'm not putting you on a pedestal. I'm not trying to put you up there and make you think that if you mess up or do anything, that I'm going to judge you as less than. You know, and that's another way that I judge people, is I judge them as these amazing people, and they're struggling with going to the fridge at 2 a.m. and stuffing their face with a bunch of sweets, or dealing with pornography, or, I mean, whatever. You know, there's people that I put on a pedestal that I think so highly of, and they're probably killing themselves because they know that there's so many people that look up to them and think so highly of them, and they just feel stuck. So another way that I don't want to judge people is to make them feel like I've put them on this pedestal, and that if I find out that you did something, then you just fell off this pedestal, because that's just so unhealthy too.
I have felt so much of that so much of my life, and it sucks because, I mean, I can just, from being like teenager, you know, just always being told that I need to be the example, like, because, you know, the 3 younger ones and stuff, my younger siblings, that I just always needed to be an example, and I have felt that way, like people have put me on this pedestal to be a certain way, and I know within myself that I'm not. You know, I know within myself, but there's that major judgment towards myself because of my imperfections. And it's so hard, and like, that is, to put people up on pedestals is not a good thing, because none of us can, like, we're all imperfect.
Yep.
We all struggle.
And as being a parent, you know, I want my kids to know, which it's
absolutely,
I want them to know, look, I get it, I understand, I've been there, I've messed up, I'm not perfect. You know, my younger ones, I want to tell them. My older ones, they're pretty aware of it, you know, but that's the last thing I want my kids is to ever feel like, oh no, I'm messed up, how's dad gonna see me? It's like, dad is never gonna see you anyway, because dad has been there. Dad has done that. You know, for my kids to feel like they can ever fall off of some pedestal I've put them on, I do not want that ever. So yeah, judgments, whether you're judging somebody good or judging them as less than, that's just going back to myself. You know, where do I land? Am I looking up? Am I looking down on people? It's just so unnecessary. The only thing that matters is, what am I doing today? Where am I at today? Am I progressing today? You know, inventory, looking at myself and, you know, saying, how can I progress? That's important. But to judge myself as good or bad because of, no. We're here to learn and to grow. And
yeah, and I think as we focus our attention more on loving ourselves, you know, instead of being in the trying to fix the judgment so much, like, I'm really learning as we shift our perspective into how I want to be, not how I don't want to be, but how I want to be. I want to love myself more. I want to be more accepting of myself. And as I practice those things, the negative, it falls away. Like, it's not even an issue anymore. And so that's what I need to practice more, is more self-acceptance and love. And I've progressed. Like I'm so much further than I was a year ago. I mean, just doing this together and recognizing these things about myself, it's helping me to work on these things and recognize them and learning how to work on them differently. And it's not even really work. I mean, I say work, but it's allowing
Living.
yeah, it's allowing the Spirit and grace to be in effect, because whenever I surrender my day and I allow the Spirit, the Spirit is so gentle and so kind and so loving and so compassionate and accepting. And as I feel that within myself from the Spirit, I'm learning how to be that way more with myself. And I love too that our interactions with people and at church having callings and responsibilities and things where we have to do things, and it opens us up to seeing things. I know it's helping me to see things about myself, and these fears of judgment are coming back up because I'm practicing more. I'm having different experiences. It's bringing these things up where I thought I was really good with it, but I'm apparently not. But that's what's so wonderful about life and accepting challenges and responsibilities and doing things differently, is just these things, just more stuff comes up for us to learn and to heal and to grow and let go of. And it's such a beautiful process. It really is. And I'm so grateful for it. I mean, I love learning. I love growth. And I'm so happy that and excited to know that this life, that's what this whole life is about. And I've got 50 more years of it, and I love it. I'm I don't know.
You got today. You got right now.
I got right now. I mean, I could die today, and which would be great. I mean, it just would be great too, because I'd be learning something else on a whole different plane.
I'd miss you, but I'd be happy for you.
Right.
Yeah. Being judgmental is just not a way to live. It's not a way to live. It's not a way to live being judgmental of looking up on people, like I said, judging somebody as being so awesome and just, man, I wish I was more like them. Well, what's that saying about me?
Right.
Or judging somebody as being, oh man, they are just so beat up and just, what is wrong with them? Well, what's that say about me too? There's just no room for it. There's no room for that in my life. I have enough time. I have enough to do working on myself than to judge somebody else. And if I am being judgmental, that's an immediate vibration. There is a feeling, and that person knows that they're being judged, and you're immediately severing the opportunity to be of service and to help that person if they're open and want and if that's where they're at in their life and I'm judging them, well, I've just lost the opportunity to be of service.
That's a good point.
And also, if I'm judging them as being awesome and they're really struggling with something, well, I've just lost the opportunity of connecting with them, because all of a sudden they're probably putting up a wall of, he thinks I'm awesome, I better put on my face and not let him down because Corey needs help. Corey needs me to pick him up. But no, we need to all be here for each other, no matter where we're at. It is a beautiful day. It really is. And I want to be less judgmental of myself.
Me too.
That is number one. And not to have those thoughts in my mind that are so false, that tell me that somebody's judging me, that it's just not true. Instead, how about I just tell them hello and love them and be kind to them instead of walking by them and thinking, oh, that what a snob, you know? Who's being the snob?
And too, it's totally okay if they are judging us because it has nothing to do with us.
That is true. They might be judging the mess out of me.
And that's totally okay because as long as we are living true to ourselves, to God, to what He wants for us, people may judge that.
Yeah.
They just may, and that's okay.
Yeah. And judge it even as being false or whatever. Right. Yeah.
We just have to be good with ourselves.
Yeah. Be good with ourselves and don't judge others and just look for opportunities to be of service. And the world is a better place, one person at a time.
Yep.
And there are so many people that are just working on being a better person.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many good people in this world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's all a matter of where are you looking, what are you looking at, what are you watching, what are you filling your day with? Because I can fill my day with a bunch of just bad stuff, just a bunch of negativity, or I can fill myself with positive, uplifting people that are looking to make the world a better place. So, I choose the light.
Me too.
It's just so much easier.
Yeah.
Life is so much easier.
It is.
So, I love y'all.
Right.
Life is good.
It is. Bye, y'all.